funny the beef that Hamilton fans now have with, or that Epic fans have with Hamilton right now. It's hilarious. It's the funniest shit that you'll ever hear. For context, if none of you know, so Hamilton is the musical a few years ago, about the life of Alexander Hamilton, according to one specific source, right? It's supposed to be a play about Hamilton, his exploits, as he's one of the founding fathers of the country. That nobody, a lot of him just know him for being the $10 bill guy, right?
Famous duel. But,
Yeah. He's known
aside.
he's known for being on the $10 bill, and also for being a really good Jif commercial. That was Jif,
So
right?
he has his kicks.
Yeah. Um, so so he the thing is that his life is actually incredibly interesting. He being an orphan, the play was really held up. He was a highly ambitious man. He was also incredible. He wanted what was best for the community, but he realized that being in government required a lot of shady shit, right? That's kind of the whole thing with Hamilton. Epic is about the Odyssey and focuses on Odysseus, or at least this version of Odysseus, right? I want to preface that one a little bit. It's this version of Odysseus, um,
True character.
to the character, right? Uh, and and one of the things that people have attached to, especially since some of the more recent albums have come out, is that this man is a my wife guy. Like they made like the Jorge Rivera. He actually he basically made Odysseus a my wife guy, which I think is funny as shit, based on how much in the
So
original tale he cheated on his wife so many times.
kind of assume that that's most all Greek mythology figures. They
Right.
didn't seem to consider it a big deal.
Yeah, like that's because like they just had to worry about Hera, and Hera, while being highly respected, they were just kind of like, well, if Zeus can do it, cl- clearly I
Yeah.
have no consequences to my actions.
Yeah. I
Um,
think what people don't realize is that of the three, uh, yeah, big brother gods, the guys at the top of the food chain,
mhm.
Hades, the one we like to swap in for Satan, might have actually been by far the least evil.
Despite the fact that he also kidnapped his wife.
That's like
Yeah, I
the
think
one
that
bad thing
is.
he did, though. Everything else,
I mean, it depends on what you mean by bad. Do you mean bad as in without karmic justice? Or do you mean bad because it was a. Or do you think bad because of moral justification in the modern day?
I mean, well, clearly we mean the latter because they clearly weren't thinking about that the same way back then. That yeah, the way that has us all saying like, wait, Zeus did what?
Yeah, the way that he and Hera got together is not even funny. Like it's just they. I once saw a comic series. I think it's called The Olympians. It's really good. I highly suggest people look into it. The creator tried to be as accurate to the original text or some of the original interpretations as possible, though he did still have to like kind of like word around specifically how Hera and Zeus got together.
It's 2 NC-17.
Yeah, it was a snuff film. That's what that was. Um,
Hmm.
so anyway,
Wait, somebody got killed so they could get together?
no,
It wasn't enough that they're brother and sister or whatever they are.
No, I mean, yeah, they are a brother and sister, but no, that's not what I mean. There was unconsensual hugging happening. So much of it. So much of it.
So it was a Tuesday for Zeus.
It was a Tuesday for Zeus, but he had political ideations in that one. Right. So.
Yoy, 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 yoy.
Yoy, 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 yoy.
Yeah, Hades was a bit of an incel, but he wasn't Zeus.
Yeah, like I feel like though that's very little consolation. I'm gonna give her like just a little bit of a tuft of hair.
Like
on the top.
depends on your perspective. Like yeah, I feel like it was in the sense of like, okay, well I could have Zeus around. Like I could have getting flayed by 10 hot knives, or I could have a pin jammed into my finger.
Right. Or you could do what Hades did when I think it was not Theseus but his friend, Theseus's friend at the time. He was like, "Hey, you know what? Theseus, you should kidnap Cassandra at 12 years old."
Sure.
But we need to be mindful. She's only 12. We're gonna wait until she's legal in order to do anything. And you know what? And then the friend is just like, you know what else we should do? What, Theseus? What? Oh, you know what we should do? What is it? Theseus, am at the edge of my feet. Well, you see, I wish to marry Persephone. That sounds like a brilliant idea.
There just wasn't a lot of restraint among these people.
Yeah. So what ended up happening is that they casually went down to the underworld and they meet Hades, right? And Hades is just like, the fuck are you doing in my house? And they're like, oh, we're here to kidnap Persephone. This is a great idea, isn't it? We're gonna be husbands-in-law. Hades. Okay. First of all, welcome to my house. Would you like to take a seat? And he's like, he's just like, oh yeah, no, totally take a seat. Yeah, totally gonna be fine. Cap bounds them into their chairs and straps them with snakes that constantly bite them.
Sure. So Hades be laying down the law here.
Yeah, Hades was like, no, I'm not into that. And then like, what's even funnier, right, is that Hercules actually comes by. There's like a runner up to this, where Hercules comes by and he sees like Theseus and his friend, and they're like, what the fuck happened? And he's like, oh, and Theseus is just like, well, you see, what had happened was we were gonna kidnap Persephone. That sounds like an amazing idea. You would think. And Theseus gets saved, but his friend doesn't. In fact, when Hercules tried, I should say Heracles, but fuck it. When he tries, the whole place starts shaking. And then he's just like, well, I guess you're staying here. So I love how like most modern interpretations of their relationship is just like, no, we have like the healthiest relationship possible. And then I'm over here going like, what about the one time that he cheated on a Persephone and turned her into a mint tree or a mint plant? We're not going to talk about that? Okay, I see how it is.
We're not going to talk about that.
I see how it is.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk anymore.
No.
We don't talk about that. No. By the way, I've listened to that in Spanish. It does not translate well.
Bummer.
Like I think a lot of it has to do with it's very. I think it's because Lin Manuel Miranda's cadence is very American. And it's very English
Okay.
speaking. So
Mm.
it doesn't quite translate as well as maybe it could in Spanish, as far as like beat is concerned.
Uh, yeah, just accent and cadence, and you find yourself off step.
I mean,
I cannot.